Hey again, everybody. I'm here to talk about managing partners and doing co-branded marketing with your realtor partners. We're going to go over a little bit about the partnerships database, how you manage a partnership record. Basically, so when you click on your database for your partners, what you're going to see is you've got your marketing sequences, and every partner record, of course, is going to fall into a marketing sequence. So business card collected would be your default, so that's where your records are going to fall as soon as you put them there, but make sure that you move them to a marketing sequence more appropriate. Now, your preferred partners, of course, are those partners that you will send referral business to and that are sending you referrals all the time as well. Your active partners, well, they're people that, think of you and do send a loan or two or maybe a few more than that to you. They're actively giving you referrals. And interested partners, to somebody who knows your name. Basically, there's somebody who you may have done a transaction with, maybe a listing agent at one point. You want to keep marketing to those interested people so that they become active and are sending you referral business. But your default marketing sequence is going to be basically the place where your partners will land until you move them elsewhere. The system doesn't know your relationship, so there's no way that it can move them for you. So make sure that if you want to move someone from a business card collected marketing sequence, that you can click on the Move Records button, and then you can put them in a marketing sequence more applicable. So they're interested. Anyway, that's how you would move them. Now, we also want to draw your attention to the fact that you can have groups, and you can click on your group view. You can see that you have some groups already built. Of course, this new group name is where you would actually make that an upgraded group name, but I just wanted to put that in there to show you that, of course, that's where you're going to enter your groups. Click on the plus button and go to the Manage Groups, and then in this way, then you can actually go ahead and change that. Oh, to my best realtors. My best realtors can go over here too. All right, you can make that private or public. I'm going to make it private. I'm going to actually select that to be, to be a partner, and update my group. All right. Anyway, enough about groups. But I do want to, let you know that you can build groups to help in your marketing efforts to your realtors. Let's go back to our pipeline view. And I want to go into one of my preferred partners, Maury Stories record, because there's a lot of fields that I want to explain to you. Now, when you go into a realtor record, of course, you notice that this section may or may not be open. If it isn't, of course, click on the plus button to expand it. And here's where you can also change your marketing sequence. So if you wanted to keep them as a preferred partner, you can use the status area. Are they a hot, warm, or cold partner in your opinion? Partner type, oh, they're a referral partner. Make sure you make those updates and save that information. And then we also have extra fields. Those are basically just open fields for you to use. But click back over onto the contact information screen or tab, and you'll see that you have a place for a lot of information. Partner short name, he goes by the name of Marty. So, well, Marty. That's kind of his short name, so we can put that in there as well. And I've got his license number, I've got his numbers. Here is important. I'm going to put this in the same area because he uses only one phone. And notice I do have my email address in here for the purposes of showing some marketing. So you would obviously not put your email address there, you would put Maury's. And I have a picture of Maury. I have Maury's, well, it's my logo. Anyway, so make sure that you put as much contact information as you can about Maury, putting all of his address, anywhere street. Oops, I can't even type. And then his city, any state, and then, okay, so I'm going to update that. I want to draw your attention over here to this information. This is the contact information ID. So this is going to be important to you as we move a little bit further along. Just remember where that field is. And I'm going to show you something here in a little bit. But I wanted to make sure that you understood that you can add campaigns. So you can start Maury on a campaign maybe that's just designed to drip on realtors. Let's see what we have here. let's talk about inviting him to a customizable portal. So we're going to, now that we have his picture in, and we also have, you know, his contact information, we're going to go ahead and send him that campaign. Simply, I do not need to change any information about the start time because it's going to recognize, well, it's 10:50 right now, but it is after 6 a.m. So if I clicked on Start Campaign, of course, it would start Maury on that campaign. I also want to draw your attention to the fact that you can, well, of course, remove them from a campaign if you find that they're, you know, not applicable. If I clicked on the Tasks tab, let's just say I wanted to set a task. I do meet with Maury every 2 weeks. We have a little breakfast meeting. So I'm going to add the task for 2 weeks. Well, it's next week is actually when we're going to have our next meeting. And we meet at 11 o'clock a.m., finish in about an hour. Type of the call is going to be an appointment. And I want to know that, you know, a few minutes before because it takes me a little bit to get to the coffee shop. And I can even remind Maury, give him a 30-minute in advance notification. And it does happen every 2 weeks. So so that's the reason for the task. So I'm going to set that up, and it's actually going to remind me, and it's a nice little thing that it reminds me enough in advance so I can get to the coffee shop. It's also going to remind Maury. He's going to like that because he's pretty forgetful. Anyway, so that's how you would set up a task. If I wanted to remove it or reschedule it, of course I would make sure that I did it here. So that task is going to show up on my calendar on the dashboard. It's going to remind me 15 minutes before, and it's going to remind Maury too. So I want to mark it as being done when after we've met, because if I don't, it's going to show up on the dashboard under the missed tasks area. But it is going to show up every 2 weeks. All right, so that's how you create a task. Now I want to show you here that he is now participating with me in Mary West's mortgage. So I'm going to click on Mary West. It'll actually take me straight to Mary's record. So that's nice to know, is that you have information on who they are participating with, and it's easy to get right straight to that area. So if I am, in Mary's record and I want to see who her participants are, I can go right straight back to Maury's record this way. That really saves a lot of time. Okay, let's see. I also want to make note for you that everything that I am doing can be saved over in the tracker. I can log changes into the tracker, and then you'll see them appearing here. Of course, this tracker area can get quite wide. So if I were to send Maury an email, or if I were to invite Maury to his portal, which I'm going to do here shortly, these items will show up in the tracker as well. So be sure that if Maury is participating in a transaction with you, that while you're in the mortgage record, that you link that partner by clicking on the participant section and then just coming in here and selecting that realtor. And then, of course, you want to make sure that you notate that there is a referral status here. And in this case, I'm going to have this arrow going to the left, which tells me that Maury referred this client, Mary West, to me. Now, if I had referred Mary West to Maury, I would, of course, have this arrow pointing the other way. And if you ever remember, just to hover over that little arrow, and it tells you the referral status. So I'm going to put it back into referred to me by Maury. Okay, so let's get back into Maury's record here. And so that's how you link a partner. Now, talking about utilizing Bntouch in a great way, if your company allows you to have a sync between your loan origination software and Bntouch, this partnership relationship, well, not the relationship status, but the partnership data will be imported into your Bntouch CRM. And of course, you will want to come in here and you want to make sure that you select the right relationship status. But again, clicking right back onto Mary West's record, I can quickly get back there. So if Maury and I are having a conversation about Mary, well, I can be in Maury's record, but then I can click back onto Mary's record quickly, and we can discuss what's going on. We can discuss what's going on in processing, and that's a pretty good thing because Maury needs to know when things are happening, right? So let's get back into Maury's record, and I want to talk to you about the partner portals. So let's see here. Let me go back into I have to click on another tab just to refresh this basically. Okay, so you wonder, what is a portal? Well, you probably know a little bit about the portals, or even if you don't, we're going to click here to visit. But before we do, I want to show you that you may need to know what is Maury's portal password. So every record has an individual portal password. Of course, you want to copy that out, and then you want to go back to the Partnership Information tab. And if I click on Click to Visit, it may ask me for that password, or it may not, depends. And in this case it didn't, because, well, I've been into this portal here recently, so it knows I'm good. It's not going to worry about it. Now this is what Maury sees when Maury gets into his portal. Here's a picture of me, and if I click over here onto the My Information tab, there's a picture of Maury, and all of Maury's contact information will be here. Of course, you want to fill in as much information before you invite him to the portal, making sure that none of those blanks are empty. And so you can send feedback to one another. He can send you a feedback letting you know that you're the most awesome loan originator in the world. He can click on this tab and he can see the transactions that he's participating in with you. Okay, so this is really cool, right? What if he's done 70 transactions with you over the last 5 years? Well, it's going to be a great list for him. So he's going to like the fact that he can just quickly come in, he can click on Mary West, he can find out what's going on in Mary's file very quickly, and he'll see the loan status information. So as you're keeping that information up to date and putting any comments, you can also be using the projected column to say, you know, hey, you know that based on the earnest money agreement or contract for the sale, it's supposed to fund on, you know, June 30th. So you can put a comment over here that, hey, okay, per the contract, receive such and such a date. June 30th is your expected funded date. You could put your projected dates all the way upward, so that as you're putting your actual dates, the loan you know, will be kept up to date, and the partners will be able to see this information. Not only will the partners see this information, but the borrowers will see it if you've invited them to their portal too. So Property Sites is just another tool that you can add to your ability to help your realtors to build their business. They're going to love it. I'm not going to go too into detail, but if you recognize that some realtors are listing agents too, on the listings that they have, they can add a property site. They can put all the information about the home that they've got listed, and they can actually create a listing sheet. Very cool tool. So this is not really something you want to say you'll build for them, because obviously this is the information they know about their listings. Now this is what's really cool, is they can submit a new lead to you through the portal. So the minute that they do that, they send the information. They're going to select that the loan, purpose is a purchase, tell you how much the loan amount's needed, make any comments that they want to make about this referral or this lead, and then they're going to select that they're going to be the buying agent and submit the lead. So I'm not going to show you how that actually works. That's another training that we've done in the past, or you may look at in the future. And anyway, so you'll notice though that it will submit this new lead to your CRM. It'll be in the Mortgages tab as a new lead, and then voila. If need be, and if you like this idea, you can have a campaign that can run that is a co-branded campaign. Would co-brand with you, of course here's your picture, and would co-brand with Maury or your realtor, and their picture and all their contact information will be on this marketing piece. This is a drip marketing campaign that can drip on their leads, and it's a cool tool because then it's marketing for your realtor. What realtor isn't going to love the idea that you're doing marketing with them and for them? So what I wanted to do is talk to you about a marketing campaign that you can utilize. If you don't find it to be available in your CRM, what you can do under the Marketing tab is you can go to Content Exchange, and that would be a tab right here. So click on Content Exchange, and you can find the campaign that's called New Lead from Partner Portal Co-Branded. So it being a co-branded campaign, of course, that's some of the reason for today's video, is to talk about the co-branding. So this particular campaign, if you click on it, has emails that you can see go to yourself, go to the borrower, and go to the partner. So once that co-branded lead or that lead comes into you from the portal, then the partner's going to get a thank you. You're going to get an email telling you that you just got a new co-branded lead, and the borrower is going to get tips on getting pre-approved or being pre-approved. then you'll notice that the borrower is going to receive a series of emails based on the intervals that have already been preset. That's not to say you can't make changes, so if you wanted to go in and edit any of these emails, you can do that. And then this will drip on the borrower for a period of 50 days, day 1, day 4, day 8, day 12. So as you can see, a series of emails. And if you wanted to add new steps, you could certainly do that. You can edit these campaigns in any way that you want. I'm not here to tell you how to edit them today. I just kind of wanted to go over the co-branding. Well, let's take a look at this. So you're going to know the partner's information that record is in reference to. So whoever submitted the lead through their portal to you is going to be the person who you're co-branding with. And this is a great campaign. And it does say, just wanted to send a thank you for submitting the lead. So as you can see, that's really nice that as soon as that partner of yours submits a lead through the portal, they're going to get a thank you. Now let's talk about doing some co-branding together. Let's just say that your realtor has a list of leads. They've never really followed up. They're just saying, hey, I like that new co-branding stuff that you're doing with me. How about if I give you a spreadsheet of some past leads that I've never really followed up on, and we'll see if anything comes of it. And you're like, cool, I'll do that. So what you're going to do is you're going to come over into your Import tab. You're going to import these into your mortgages database, and you're going to browse for that. Let's see if I can find it real quick. I think it's on my desktop. So, yep. Let me find that Excel spreadsheet that Maury sent over to me, and I'll be able to import that just by simply finding it and clicking open and then going to step 2. What I'm going to do here is quick and easy overview of how you would actually do the mapping for that spreadsheet. Your spreadsheet has column headers on it, and that helps to ease in figuring out what fields this information needs to go into in Bntouch. So I'm matching is what I'm doing, the fields in my spreadsheet to the fields in Bntouch. So let me get this part completed real quick. It's not too hard to do. State and then zip. It's just a little hard to find the right fields if you're trying to do it quickly. And then notice the buying agency ID. Do you remember when we were in the partnerships tab and I told you to pay attention to that little bit of information and I highlighted that? Well, that information I put on my spreadsheet. So I'm going to call that my buying agent. Let me see if I can find that, hopefully pretty quickly. There's so many fields that you can be actually putting data into, so you're going to find that this list is sometimes kind of long and sometimes kind of hard to find what you're looking for, but here it is. So the buying agency ID, the number, I put into every one of those records in that column for it. So now when I do the import into my lead database, or my mortgages database in my lead marketing sequence, my duplicates preference I want to skip in case I've already got those leads in there. My first row preference is column names because that's what I have on my spreadsheet is column names. And I'm not going to put them into any particular group. I could if I wanted to, but I'm not going to for the purposes of this training. And then I'm not going to worry about any of these other check marks. So for now, we're not going to go into detail with what they mean. You can do that by checking that out in a different one of our videos. But anyway, we're going to import with selected options. So I only had four people that was on that spreadsheet, so it's actually already in my Bntouch now. So if I click on the Mortgages tab and I go to my leads, I can see by the added date those 4 leads that were added today. They were just all added at the same time with that spreadsheet. So I have these people that I want to start marketing to. So let's do this. Let's do this. We're going to start that campaign that we were talking about, which is that co-branded campaign. I'm going to click on Start Stop. I'm going to find the campaign itself, which is the co-branded from Partner Portal. I'm going to go ahead and start the campaign. And something to note is if your safe mode is on, that campaign can't start sending out. It's going to hold it in the dashboard under pending campaigns. We're not going to talk about that part of it today, but I did want to bring that to your attention. Never leave safe mode on after you've learned your CRM because you are losing out on the automated feature of Bntouch. Anyway, okay, so we've imported our records. We now know that they're under the Mortgages tab. Let's go back to one of those records real quick. Let's click on, oh, hey, she sounds like a nice person. What you'll notice is you have your participant already linked. So that's the feature about adding the CID, or the, as I put it, under buying agent, so that it will know that that's where that referral status was. So if I hover over that, it will tell me, sometimes, it should tell me if I hover over that, but it doesn't seem to want to show us right now, that that was referral from. So we know where that referral source was. And then it also knows when I do that marketing campaign, when I already sent that out, that's the new lead from Partner Portal. It's going to have Maury's picture, it's going to have my picture and all of our contact information, and it's going to start dripping on those new leads. And of course, developing a relationship for you and Maury. So how do you want to, go about telling your partners about the Partner Portal? Well, make sure first, before you do, that you put all their contact information into their record. And then it's so simple as, now that you've already got that password, remember every record has an individual portal password, click on Invite, and it knows that it's going to send to Maury Story at his email address. Of course, that's mine. I set that up that way so I can get a copy of that. And then you'll see that it tells you everything about this portal. What you use the portal for, tells them how to find when they want to download this onto their their mobile device, iTunes or Google Play, tells them that they're going to search for Pros on Web. Now, this is going to be changing. We're going to be changing the name of this campaign, or of these portals, to Mortgage Circles at some point in time real soon. So we may talk about Pros on Web. We may talk about Mortgage Circles. It just, whatever time you happen to look at this, whether or not we're using Mortgage Circles yet or not. Anyway, so it's going to give them their email information, and it's going to tell them how they can click on their password. Well, you can send their password to them separately for security reasons, or you can paste in that password. And then you can just simply send this. When it comes to them, they'll know exactly what the portal is all about. And it's personalized, and it's a very cool tool, and it tells them about the cool tool that you're using, the CRM cool tool. So be sure that you invite all your partners, all your mortgage clients, to be using the portal, because obviously if you can talk your referral sources into submitting leads through this way, it's a very, very cool way to do co-branded marketing. And that's what the purpose of today's training is working with your partners, developing relationships, and doing co-branded marketing. So make sure you also tell them how cool it is that they can keep in touch with their clients. They can see all their contact information. They can keep in contact with them as far as knowing what status or stage their loans are in with you at any given time, even though when you do link that partner to your mortgage transaction, and if you're using the partner marketing that goes on while a loan is in processing, that is to let them know that their file has been submitted to processing, or been submitted to underwriting, or is approved with conditions. That's another way of keeping in contact with your partners throughout the mortgage transaction. Again, don't forget, if your safe mode's on, you're losing out on the opportunity for automation to send out campaigns to your partners and to your borrowers on time. You don't want to send them out late. That doesn't do a whole lot of good either. So co-branded marketing is a cool tool. Using the partner for co-branding is a really cool tool, and can automatically start campaigns for you if you have your triggers set. In this case, I did not have a trigger preset for automation to start that campaign, but I did show you how to start a campaign manually, so that's something that you'll also want to understand how to do. I also talked to you about importing. So remember, we went under the import, or the options tab, sorry, and then number 7, which is import. If you realize that you've made a mistake on any that you've imported, you can go to history, and then you can actually reverse that or remove those records. So don't worry, give it a try. Make a mistake or forget to put that let's see if we can open up the buying agent CID is where I put that on my spreadsheet. So then again, if you forgot to put that on and you didn't have that referral status happen for you, then you want to make sure to take that data back out and put that column in. So where I got that information, if you have forgotten, is we were under partner record, and we were under this tab that says contact info, and this is what you find. So make sure that you link your buying agent with their CID when you import that database or that spreadsheet, and off you'll be running with some co-branded marketing. Hope that you've enjoyed this and gotten a lot out of this training. This is one of the really, really cool tools that Bntouch does provide to you, and we're so glad that you're our client. So have a great day, and let's be in touch.